Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to iTouch App Reviewers. In this video, I want to talk about the 6.1-inch iPhone with the LCD that is rumored to come out later this year. So of course, your favorite Ming-Chi Kuo is out with more information about this phone. So let's scroll down here and take a look at it. By the way, this is a dummy model of the iPhone 10 Plus versus the actual iPhone 10 by Ben Geskin. So you guys can kind of get an idea of how big that other phone is going to be. It's going to be pretty ridiculous. So let's scroll down here just a bit. All new 6.1-inch iPhone with LCD. Here's the new information we know. We know now, or at least we're told, that Taiwanese manufacturers Pegatron, Foxconn, and Wistron will be the key assemblers of the 6.1-inch iPhone with 60%, 30%, and 10% allocation of EMS respectively. So that means 60% to Pegatron, 30% to Foxconn, and 10% to Wistron. So that's kind of the layout there. Japan Display will supply around 70% of the LCD panels for the 6.1-inch iPhone. Rumor suggests that Apple will use Japan Display's 6-inch full active LCDs, which we actually reported on last week. You guys can go watch that video if you want, that only require ultra slim 0.5mm bezels on all four sides, which is crazy. So this thing could actually have smaller bezels than the iPhone 10, which is crazy to think about, but we'll have to see about that. Now, these are reiterated facts, nearly full screen design with no home button and notch for true depth sensors, 3D sensing Face ID for Face ID and Animoji, rectangular shaped one cell battery with 2850 to 2950 milliamp hours, up to 8.5% larger than the current iPhone 10. So not a huge improvement there, but still an improvement nonetheless. The increased capacity will be the result of a smaller logic board given manufacturing advancements and a lower price point, starting between $700 and $800 in the United States. Rumored 6.1-inch iPhone is shaping up to be a lower priced iPhone 10 with some design compromises, which Kuo previously said will include an aluminum frame, lack of 3D touch for whatever reason, single rather than dual rear lens with the camera, and 3 gigs of RAM, which will be less memory than the other new 2018 iPhones will have. So 3 gigs of RAM on this thing doesn't sound too bad. But as we've seen through speed tests of the iPhone 10 currently, it actually lags behind a little bit when reopening a bunch of apps because there's just not enough RAM in the current iPhone 10 to keep up with that. Now the old iPhones like the iPhone 7, 7 Plus, and even the 6Ss, they were monsters at this. They could keep stuff open, but for some reason on the iPhone 10 with iOS 11, it's just not that good. Now this iPhone 6.1-inch with LCD is actually doesn't sound that bad now that I'm thinking about it, because a lot of people don't want to pay $1,200 or $1,000 for an iPhone 10. But when you look at this, I mean, it's a slightly bigger phone. It's going to be a little more awkward to hold. But for $700 to $800 with all of these premium features, it's going to be a compelling thing. So let's scroll down just a bit here. For those of you that are still looking at one of these iPhone 10 Pluses, according to Kuo, the second generation iPhone 10 and a larger 6.5-inch version, we're calling the iPhone 10 Plus, will have an increased 4 gigabytes of RAM. Unsurprisingly, given its larger physical size, the 10 Plus will also have up to a 25% larger battery of possibly 3,300 to 3,400 milliamp hours versus the iPhone 10. So right now, one of the biggest complaints that I'm hearing is the battery on the iPhone 10, because if you go from an 8 Plus to a 10, you're noticing the battery difference. Like the 10 Plus or the 8 Plus can hold its battery pretty well all day, whereas the 10 can kind of get a little shaky towards the end of the day if you're doing a lot of stuff. Kuo adds that Apple has settled on a 2-cell L-shaped design for the second gen iPhone 10 and 10 Plus, which is basically what's in the phones right now, the iPhone 10s right now, compared to a single cell L shape that could have yielded up to 10% additional battery. I guess they just couldn't pull that off in time, but like I've been saying for like the past, I don't know, 10 or 20 videos, the 2019 iPhone 10 is the one that you guys are going to want to look at if you want all the newest and greatest features. The ones coming in 2018 are going to be nice, but nothing, you know, earth-breaking here. So it's all going to be pretty small upgrades, like an S upgrade type thing. By the sounds of it, the iPhone 10 and 10 Plus, the new ones beyond the latter's larger screen size, won't be significant upgrades, just as I just said. Kuo doesn't expect improvements to be made on the true depth camera system until 2019, just like I just said. Nevertheless, he expects the devices to sell well, especially the lower priced 6.1-inch iPhone. I think a lot of people that are actually not upgraded to the iPhone 10 right now are going to be forced, so to speak, not technically, but they're going to be forced, so to speak, to get the 6.1-inch because Apple's kind of making that their new budget phone, so to speak. So there have been rumors of a new iPhone SE 2 coming this year, actually coming in a couple months. So I might do a video on that next, just to kind of fill you guys in on that, because that sounds a little bit interesting for those of you that don't want to drop $700 to $800 on a phone. But I'll get to that in another video. This is going to be basically a baby iPhone 10, even though it's slightly bigger. It's just going to have less features. The iPhone 10 and 10 Plus are going to be the more premium ones. Okay, take this with a grain of salt, but I've heard people say that they think that Apple is going to drop the iPhone 10 completely and basically replace it with this one. And then if you want the premium stuff, you have to get the 10 Plus, which would absolutely suck for those of us that just want a normal sized phone. We would not want to have to go down to this one just to get features from this one. So I don't think Apple would do that, but from the looks of it, I don't know, they've been doing all kinds of crazy shit. So iPhone 10 Plus, iPhone 10 and 6.1 inch iPhone, all rumored to come out this year. We'll have to see if they actually stick with the iPhone 10 as well. I think they probably will, but we'll have to see on that. So that's all I got for this video, guys. If you want to see more on the iPhone SE 2, I'm gonna do that video probably right after this one, probably upload it tomorrow. So if you guys wanna be in on that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys get notified every time I drop a new video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.